Hey my dudes, welcome to my channel. I'm Lockhorns. But since we're not friends, you can just call me Noah. In this video, I will be discussing the biggest problem in metal today. So, take a look at these guys. What do they have in common?
Destruction.
They're all legends in the scene. They kick ass on stage. Well, yes, but they're also kind of old. Are you sure you want to do this? Great! Your first video! You're already into the shitstorm. Don't get me wrong, I love all of these bands. I mean, take a look at my wall. It was through these bands that I discovered this scene and fell in love with it. So, what's the problem then? Please don't go ranting like some neckbeard living in his mother's basement. Don't worry, I won't. But the issue is that these guys are still the biggest names in metal. For some reason, metal has a problem with letting contemporary acts take center stage. As an example, let's take a look at the festival I annually go to, Copenhagen, which is here in Copenhagen, because, you know, gotta represent. It's a cool lineup and all, but all of the headliners are over a decade old. The youngest of these bands is Hailstorm, which formed in 2008, I think, so they're already over a decade old. That is a lot in band years. Ghost is the only band that I can think of that formed in the last decade that actually could headline a metal festival. Sure, there are other bands that made a name of themselves, such as Tesseract and Periphery and Knocked Loose, but I wouldn't exactly call them the faces of metal or hardcore. They're rather more influential within the scene. Metal is about the underground, man. Why care about the mainstream anyway? Yeah, don't sell out, man. It's true. Metal is thriving in the underground scene, but if you compare the age that people were attending concerts at in the 80s to the age they have now, they've gotten a lot older. I get it, metal's days of glory are past us. But the thing is, if we want to keep the scene alive, we need new listeners, and I think more modern acts would draw them in. I mean, I can see why it would be hard for a 15-year-old to mirror themselves in middle-aged men dressed in leather when you have modern acts in the rap scene who are headlining their festivals. Another thing is that these gods of metal won't always be here. It's sad, but bands break up, they retire, and eventually they also die. Someday, at least in my lifetime, there won't be any more of these legends back. There won't be these huge bands that can gather big crowds for metal festivals such as Copenhagen, and I mean, that would suck. Why is that? Why are there so few modern bands that get that level of recognition? Glad you asked. While there are of course several factors that are contributing to this problem, I think the main problem is what I will call traditionalism/elitism. In our scene we care a lot about our history, and having listened to, or at least knowing the old school names, is pretty much a must if you want to get into this scene. Now, the torch passing on thing I get. I mean, it's cool. It makes us as a community feel, well, like a community. But it unfortunately also gives way to a lot of gatekeeping, which sucks. You should be ashamed of yourself. Are you inviting posers inside the scene? I actually think it's a really shitty way of acting. I mean, I wouldn't feel welcome if everybody gave me shit about listening to Bring the Horizon or whatever the gatekeepers think is the band to be shed on now. It's also sort of ironic because metal and punk often portrays itself as this place where everybody can fit in. A place for the outcasts, but apparently only if you listen to the right bands. That's fucked up and it just needs to end. So, what do we do about this? Go listen to some new music! Go to local shows! If you're willing to pay... Wait a minute. $286 for seeing Metallica, apparently. You can also spend $5 on a local show, or perhaps buy some merch or their music, or you know... Probably also go there for free. A lot of these shows are free. I mean, you have all the opportunity to go there. Go support them. And what exactly would that help? Yeah, it's not like the new Iron Maiden will just appear. No, but it does support acts to be heard, and through this we also gain momentum inside the scene, which I think is really something that we need. It's rather well known that metal has a lot of subgenres, but I don't think people often consider why that actually is. Music, as any other art form, reflects our current society, so it's not by coincidence that glam metal was big in the 80s or nu metal was big in the late 90s, early 2000s. I actually think nu metal probably was the last movement to get some actual attention from mainstream media. Sure, we have had metalcore and of course the gen scene, but it doesn't really compare to what nu metal did. I mean, Fred Durst was a fucking A-list celebrity back then. By the way, mentioning gent, my next video will be about that. Go down, click subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can keep updated on that. I'm getting off track. By letting modern acts take center stage, we're having movement within the scene, which can attract kids today to, reflect themselves and, hear something that they actually think is cool.
Like
Glam did for the party animals in the 80s, or nu metal did for the angsty loner types, or I guess black metal did for the satanists and racists. Are you going to talk about Earn Your Scars now? Dude, you're spoiling the surprise! I myself would like to contribute to the discovery of new bands, therefore I will recommend something. Yeah, Earn Your Scars, right? Chill, he'll get there. I will come with a recommendation in all of my videos. It might not always be from the heavy scene, hell, it might not even always be music, but just highlighting something that I think you guys should check out. Now? Yes, now. So this video's recommendation is a Danish hardcore band called Earn Your Scars. I went and saw them in this small venue close to me, and I liked what I heard. I also got to talk with them after the show, and they're really cool guys who play awesome, aggressive music, so go send them some love, buy some of their merch, check them out. Please subscribe and like this video. It will help a lot with the growth of this channel and, for me to shout out some cool music for you all. If you're in a band, please share your music with me, or merch, or whatever. I will gladly help promote upcoming bands. Just throw out some names down in the comment section so everybody can check them out. Do it! Don't be shy! See you guys soon! Bye!